If reptiles evolved to be human-type species, how would they be? I actually have a video about this on my channel. If dinosaurs... So, our ancestors were reptiles. About 300 million years ago, our ancestors were reptiles. By definition, we couldn't be reptiles. We have a difference in physiology. Thank you. No, evolution's a fact. It happens. Get over it. Do I believe in visions? What do you mean, visions? Hi, Cecilia. Stop it. Micro and macro are the same things. They're the same things. Macro is just micro plus time. Stop it already. Go read some science. Go learn something. What are your thoughts on technology growing as the years progress? It's good. But technology grows exponentially. So we are reaching a point where human brains will no longer be relevant. I believe that in the near future, within our lifetimes, humans will become irrelevant. Technology will replace us in many ways, as they already have. And that trend will continue until we go extinct. And yes, we will go extinct, which is a good thing. But you can either be sad about that, or you can recognize that we live in some of the most amazing times as humans. We are literally at the end of our species. And that's a good thing. It's the beginning times, not the end times. It's the beginning times for knowledge and consciousness. Thank you for the ghosts, Kaylee. Thank you. How humans got so intelligent? Well, people tend to overestimate our intelligence. If you compare a human being to a caveman, we're the same. We're the same as a caveman from 10,000 years ago. If you compare a caveman from 10,000 years ago to a chimpanzee, well, individually speaking, there's almost no difference. There's very little difference between bonobos and our ancestors that were human. So on an individual basis, chimps can make tools like humans can. Sure, we have a couple things that we've picked up along the way, but we're not that different. What makes us intelligent is not that we have these amazing brains that no other animal has, but when we work together, we have language that allows us to work together in ways that no other animal can. And that's what allows us to have all these things, because a lot of people work together. We cooperate. Yes, we unite together, exactly. But I would never want to overestimate our intelligence. We're not that smart. The farms you get your food from kill millions of squirrels and insects a year. Oh my gosh. Vegans kill way less animals. We kill way less crops. We kill way less trees. If you want to help the environment, go vegan. It's the best thing to do. Is there a mathematical equation for consciousness? No, consciousness seems to be the emergent processes of the human body. The neural activity, the brain, nervous system. There's nothing. That's another thing we do. We love to pretend that consciousness is so special. That consciousness is this big mystery that we'll never understand. I disagree. I think that consciousness is very, very simple. We over-exaggerate how special or valuable consciousness is. Animals can't reach human consciousness. Yes, they can. We are animals, by the way. What is the point of life? Well, hopefully there is no point of life. Hopefully there is no purpose. Because that means I can make it on my own. I can do it myself. I don't want to wait. I don't want to be given my purpose like a bot. I want to make it. I want to do something special, right? Everybody wonders where their purpose comes from, but they never want to do something purposeful. They never want to produce meaning or author it. They want to look for it. Why? Your hopes are meaningless. That doesn't make any sense. People love to misunderstand determinism. If determinism is true, nothing about me changes. Nothing about the world changes. It's the same world. Determinism has no bearing on purpose, hope, knowledge, understanding, anything. Our experiences are equally as valuable and valid, whether or not determinism is true. Your hopes are determined by chemistry. Okay, what's wrong with that? What is wrong with a world where we are determined to think certain things? The thoughts are still valid. Do we all share a common ancestor? Yes, every animal, every being on the planet shares common descent with a ancient life form 4.2 billion years ago, likely bacteria. You validate theism, dude. You're so fucking ridiculous. Theism can still be false. You guys, you think that just because determinism is true, that therefore theism is true because you think it? No, it's not how knowledge works. It's such a primitive understanding of like philosophy. Theism is nonsense. It's not valid in any bit. It makes no logical sense. It's not coherent. It's not defined properly. There's no evidence of it. It's garbage. Oh my gosh, dude. You're just reiterating yourself forever. Like you have no idea. What happens after you die? You rot away and nobody cares. When I die, nobody's going to care. When you die, nobody's going to care. Now, you can either cry about that, or you can go, wait a minute. What do I want for my life, for my future, and others' futures? What do I want to do? What is my purpose? Why am I here? What can I do? You have to make the decision to do what you want, you know? People we are so emotional. We're such emotional animals. We're so primitive. We're so basic. You know? We're so fearful. We run towards things that are scary, and we cling on to things that make us feel good and comfortable. You know, we're such emotional animals. But once you break away from that, once you start realizing the folly in that, you become free in many ways. Not that there's something wrong with being emotional. It's just who we are. But don't let that ruin or dictate your life. Don't let that dictate what you think is true or your beliefs. Climate change is not natural. It's human caused and natural. Right now we are causing it. What matters is the current climate. We are causing the current climate to change. That's a fact of reality. There's so much disinformation out there. This is why I stress that you learn science. Yes, we are causing climate change. What do you think happens when you emit 40 billion tons of CO2 in the atmosphere every single year? What do you think happens? We are putting a blanket around the earth. Of course it's going to warm up. Of course it is. You have to be living under a rock to not understand the climate. How do you come to terms with there being no afterlife? I get over it, and I live my life now. Right? I'm so over that garbage, right? That is so primitive to me. It's so elementary to me. The idea of an afterlife and the hell and the heaven garbage, it's so trivial to me. It's so petty. It's so fucking petty, right? And that's all I'm trying to express when I do these lives, when I talk about this. How petty these ideas are of a God or religion. They're so petty. They're so divisive. They're so selfish. How you stop your fear of death and hell is to learn, educate yourself. Knowledge is the key to everything. The more you learn, the less scared you're going to be. Ignorance is fear. Guys, that's what fear is. It's when you don't know something. You're scared of it. So learn. And for many people, learning is scary. Because we are going against the resistance of our reptilian brains who look for comfort and look for pleasure. And that's what religion gives you. Religion gives you comfort. Oh yeah, it's all going to be good and dandy. Don't worry. When you just believe in me, and you'll get all the gifts and rewards you need. Right? That is often hindering our ability to think critically, hindering our ability to learn. People don't want to learn because they feel like religion has all the answers. But when you put it to the side, when you put religion to the side, you recognize that there's a whole world out there waiting to be uncovered and learned about. And that endeavor makes life, not only makes life more exciting, but allows us to really become free as free thinkers. Theism is selfish. It's not the smartest thing. Theism is selfish. It's all about me, 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 me. What do I get? Where's my reward? Where's my purpose? Where's my love? Where's my redemption? It's all about me, 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 me. Theism is completely selfish. Christianity and Islam are completely selfish. It's all about the ego. It's all about what makes me better. Nothing's meaningless. Theism is meaningless. There is no meaning or purpose if God exists. What's your purpose if God exists? To be a slave, to be a bot, to worship your God and give it glory. That's stupid. To love, nobody would ever expect you to love them back. No God, no loving God would ever create somebody for the sole purpose of loving them back. That is pathetic. We can love ourselves. We can love each other. We don't have to love some invisible magic space daddy. That's stupid. It's a waste of time. Jim Bob, please, dude, you're so lost. We did not evolve to believe in God. That is false. We did not evolve to believe in God. We evolved to be selfish. I agree there. We evolved to be selfish. Religion is just simply one expression of that selfishness. It's a property of that selfishness. Okay? But that's all it is. There's nothing true about religion. It's garbage. Especially yours. Will we see humans go to Mars? Yeah, I think we will see them in the next decade. Where do we come from if there's no God? These are great questions to ask, but we don't have the answers. We don't have the answers. I know you want the answers so badly, but just recognize that we don't have the answers. We don't know where we come from. Maybe that question is a bad question to ask in the first place. Maybe the questions we're asking are bad questions. Maybe they don't make any sense. There's so much contention. There's so much angst, anxiety in us, right? Where do we come from? Who made us? Why are we here? What's our purpose? All these questions that we're asking, they're coming from a selfish place. It's all about me, right? Notice every one of those questions are, where do I come from? What's my purpose? I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying it's bad to question those things. But what I'm saying is look at where those questions are coming from. They're not coming from an objective place. They're coming from a very selfish place. And when the way to learn the new perspective is to look around at the objective world. Look at things from a scientific perspective, a cosmic perspective, and that's the only way to get a true perspective of things. So, I gotta go. I'm very busy and I have things going on. I can't be here all the time. Yes, it is jaw pain. It's up here. Anyway. Yeah, I think it's TMJ, something. It doesn't... It just feel like garbage. Even talking makes it feel bad. But just don't be scared to learn. It's scary to look to learn things. It's scary to have our wants and desires proven false. But I think that there's a lot of benefits. There's only benefits to learning, to having knowledge. Yes, it's more taxing on you emotionally to be confronted with all these ideas that defy everything you want, that defy everything you are comfortable with. But on the other side of that is a world that you can see objectively, a world that you can see in a more objective way, if at least. A world that brings you more peace and freedom in the way you think. It's possible. It's possible to get there. To bring about a world where there's less ignorance and violence and hatred. That comes from a scientific perspective. It does. I don't see any other method or any other way of understanding the world that is more fruitful than a scientific one. I just can't see it. No religion can match how amazing science is and what science has done. Yeah, I do see. All I'm after is for a world where we understand more about each other. A world where we actually understand each other better. Where we understand the world better and the animals better, right? Again, all the things I talk about are connected, interconnected. It's all about understanding each other. It's all about knowledge. It's all about how we get knowledge and where it comes from. You know, building a foundation in science is very good. But I get a lot more there's a lot more resistance against me than there is for me, going for me. But I'm the type of person who loves that challenge, who loves the challenge. That's why I'm still here. Because that should tell you how passionate I am about science and learning. It's a deep, deep thing for me, as it should be for everybody. Most people go their entire lives and never understand much about the world or people. And that's sad to me. It's sad that there are some people who don't understand that the earth is round, or that space is large, or that stars are other suns far away, or that Mars has water on it, or that people or animals are conscious and intelligent and aware and loving as we are. And that the color of your skin doesn't matter. It has no bearing on who you are as a person. Right? People go their entire lives never knowing these things. You know, how do you not want a world where we do care about these things and they are on our minds? You begin to see potential in people and the world. See, another thing science does is it moves the focus away from the problems onto solutions. So most people who don't understand science, they will be stuck in the problems. They keep looking down. Whoa, how do I get out of this? What do I do? Right? Or they'll just reiterate the problems over and over again. They'll be stuck there. But as a scientist, somebody who understands science, when you understand the solutions to those problems, well, you see the world differently. You see potential in things. And that's a totally better perspective. That most people don't understand. And now, a lot of people say they love science, but they don't understand science. They don't understand, they're not really literate in science and the method and how it works. They might say they like it, but they're not really literate about it. and I would say that 90% of people in the world, 90% of people in the world don't really care for science as much as they say they do. And it's really the 10% of people who have really made the biggest changes in the contributions to science in the world around us. But you know, what about an afterlife? There is no afterlife. How about the now life? I'm so disconcerted about an afterlife that I don't even care if there is one. Like I don't even care about it, you know? I don't even think about it because it's just irrelevant. It's pointless. Who cares if there's an afterlife, whatever that means? Who cares? I have life now. I'm in the now life. That's where most of my focus is on. So asking, where do I come from? Where do I go when I die? Those are selfish questions. Those are unscientific questions. Perhaps those are wrong questions. There are many better questions to ask than, where do we go when we die? That's silly to me. But it is sad to look at people ask this question. It actually saddens me to hear people ask that. Where do I go when I die? Because it tells me that they're focused on... It tells me that they're uncomfortable with the life they have. That they don't like it. That they're uncomfortable so much to the point that they're waiting for the afterlife. They're waiting for a savior to come. They're waiting for somebody out there to come and save them. You know? That's sad. It does sadden me to see that people ask these bad questions about God and religion. It's like they're so focused on that little petty idea that they're missing the bigger picture. They're missing the bigger present moment. God. But again, it's not that we shouldn't ask these questions, but the point is that we're so focused on these questions. We're so focused on these questions that we miss the most amazing part about being alive. The mystery. The unknown. The darkness out there. That's the most exciting part. The stuff we don't know. the stuff beyond the horizon, that's the most exciting part. But the religious look for, they want to cover it, they want to cloak it, they want to cover it all up in God or religion, whatever they choose, whatever makes them feel good. And that's appealing to do. It's appealing to do that. But look how much more amazing life becomes when you let the mystery be. When you absorb the mystery, when you embrace the mystery. There's a point you can get to where you begin to embrace the mystery, embrace the stuff you don't know. And at that point, you're free. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kaylee. Matthew Perry died? Did he really? Oh no, he did. That's terrible. Life is precious. That's why I am here. That's why I'm here. Because life is precious. Everybody's life is precious. Because there's no God, we're precious. Because this is all we got, it's precious. Whether there's a God or not, it doesn't matter. We'll never be here again. That's amazing. So, we'll never be here again. In this way. And that, to me, is something that places lots of value in this life. At least to me. Look at how precious life is when God doesn't exist. This is all we got. This is our only chance. Our only experience we'll ever get. This is it. We'll never be here again. Look at how precious life becomes when you recognize that fact. So all those other things, all the typical things people feel about, like all their hatred, all their bigotry, all their racism, right? All these wars, it just is utterly dwarfed by this bigger perspective. A bigger perspective in which we see ourselves as this one dot, as this one place, and in which all we have is that. Ourselves, each other, our friends, our family. That's it. And that's a way more pure sense of purpose and meaning and value than any religion. No religion comes even close to this secular perspective. Not even close. Because if you're a Christian, well, if you die, you're going to be somewhere else after this. This life is just a test, right? This is the baby life. The better life is after this, right? This place is just a waiting zone, right? A waiting area for the bigger, better life. That's petty. No. What if this life is all we got? And this is it. So and Life can be hard for many people. That's why they cling to these ideas, and many people have to, and that's perfectly fine. But you don't have to. I'm here to say that there is a way to be happy, healthy, and awe-inspired without God, without religion. You can still have a great life without religion. Still see lots of value, if not more value, in life than religion can. And that's all. That's why I'm vegan as well. Because I love life. Life is amazing and precious. It's all connected. All of my ideas are connected. Hinged upon this one notion that life is precious. And that this is all we got. Are we going to see species beyond Earth? Yeah, there could be all kinds of life forms out there beyond our planet. Somewhere in another side of the universe, there could be an alien looking through a telescope at the Earth and going, I wonder if there's aliens there. Imagine two intelligent alien species from across the universe meeting up together. That's amazing. And that's possible with science. Religion hopes for it. It has faith in that. But science can actually do it in reality. Can meet two people, two types of life forms from across the universe together. But no matter how hard life gets, I always remember that pale blue dot. I always go back to that perspective, the bigger perspective. And all my little petty problems seem tiny compared to the universe. And it also reinforces my values. Very strong values, strong foundation. Without God, without religion. And this is one of the biggest things that Christians and Muslims think that atheists can't have. This foundation for purpose and for value. But not only can atheists get it, we have a more profound sense of it, in my view. We have a stronger sense of purpose as atheists for the things I just mentioned before. Life is amazing, guys. Whether or not there's a God, whether or not there's whatever the universe is, whatever reality is, it's still amazing that we're here and able to do this, regardless of the truth. So that's what makes me happy. That regardless of the answers, we can still find value. We can still find happiness and peace. Follow my Instagram. I mean, if you're in Florida, sure, but if you're not in Florida, it's not gonna work. Mike, this is not a dating site. I love traveling. But the point is, the reason why I do this is because I see a lot of ignorance. I see a lot of hate in the world that is unnecessary and unwarranted. And if I can perhaps some kind of impact on that, if I can, like Steve Jobs says, put a dent in the universe, just maybe help a few people, I think I've done my job. But yes, people keep asking, is religion part of evolution? No, religion's not part of evolution. Selfishness is. And selfishness is what produces religions like yours. Think about it. Pray for me, right? Oh, I'm going through something bad. Pray for me. It's selfish, right? I want somebody to help me, so I pray. Where do I go when I die? Selfish. I want to go somewhere. Where do I come from? Selfishness, because you think that you're so special that you had to come from somewhere. Selfish beliefs. Oh, he died for me, right? As if you're taking credit for somebody's torture. That's selfish. Almost every aspect of religion is selfish. And that is what we evolved to be. We evolved to be selfish animals, as we are. But we also developed imagination, which are literally what religion is. The products, the combination of these two things, selfishness, ego, and imagination, combined, produce these silly religions. Selfishness is a sin. Well, then your God's the biggest sinner, because he only made us so that we can glorify him, to make him better, right? He gave us free will. No, we don't have free will. No, we don't. You don't have free will. You don't choose freely. Everything you choose is determined by something else, influenced by something. Free will an illusion? Yes, it seems to be so. After all, if you believe in cause and effect, every effect has a cause. Every thought I have was affected by something else that I did not control. My eyes light up when I do science lives. Oh yeah, science is my passion. Science is, like I said, something very deep to my core. Something that is me. It's an expression of me. That's what science is. Science is an expression of our curiosity and our willingness to find the answer. And more importantly, find the answer that might not fit or align with our preconceived notion or desires. That is science. And that's me. It's human. Science is human. People want to say religion's human. Science is even more human. Science is how we operate as people. We're curious. Even as a kid, we're looking. What do you do as a kid? You bang pots and pans together. You uncover rocks to see what's underneath. You dig holes in your backyard. I know I did that when I was a kid. I used to dig holes to find gold or find. I found a rock one time. I found slabs from train stations. You're always looking for something. That's science. You're looking for the next idea, the next amazing invention or discovery. That's what drives me. That's what drives us as human beings. So I wish I could sit here and talk about science every day. But unfortunately, teaching people science, although it's a great thing to do, people's minds are muddied by all this disinformation, by things like religion. Ever notice if you talk to somebody deeply religious, no matter how much science you give them, no matter how many facts you tell them, they don't listen. It goes in one ear, out the other. It doesn't really get absorbed by them. So not only is teaching science important, but also deconstructing religion is important. Deconstructing these harmful, toxic ideologies which hinder you from absorbing and extracting the most from science. That is what's required as well. Talking about God and religion are some of the most important things to do, plus science. Because that's the foundation, right? You have to go to the foundation. If I want to collapse a building, I break the foundation, right? I hit the foundation first, because the rest of it will come down faster. I don't start at the top. If I want to destroy a building, I don't take the last brick on the top story off one by one. That's stupid. I go to the bottom and I try to take a whack at it. If I want to cut down a tree, I don't go to the top branch and take off a few leaves. I go to the trunk and I saw it off the trunk from the bottom. The foundation. That is akin to what I'm doing. I'm taking a saw to your belief and I'm giving you science. I'm saying, hey, here's another way, perspective of the world. A more fruitful one. And yes, a more valuable one. A more awe-inspiring one. A more even perhaps spiritual one. One where you are emotional when you learn and discover something. When you peel away layers of reality you've never seen before. That's exciting. That's emotional. That's human. So that's what I'm after. I'm after a better foundation to thinking, more critical thinking. And that could only be done if you saw off the tree. Now, of course, there's going to be lots of resistance against me. Of course, I have 1,000 people against me every day in the comment section. Heck, some of you guys are here now. You're wrong, Mike. No, you're wrong. You have to have faith, right? Those are the remnants of people who are combating me. And that's expected. I expect it. I expect the hate. Stop doing this, Mike. Stop talking. I expect that from you. But it's necessary. Because how else are you going to change if you don't deconstruct? If you're stuck in your belief, you're never going to change. And it doesn't have to be permanent. If you're scared, you don't have to become an atheist forever. My job is to make you think and at least put religion to the side and go, wait a minute, maybe this perspective is better, right? Maybe this perspective is more fruitful. If I can do that, that's a solution. Who gave me this job? You did. People did. The world did. It's all of our responsibilities and jobs and duties to promote scientific thinking. That's all of our jobs. Veganism is for everybody. It's an ethical stance. It's not a diet. It's a way, again, it's a way of viewing the animals as not just objects we get to exploit, but as actual sentient individuals. Right? People are so disconnected from the animals. We're so disconnected from nature. We're so disconnected because we live in bubbles where we think and we're taught all our lives that, yeah, I eat what I can in the package. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care where this thing came from. I don't care what or who was behind this packaging. We are taught that animals are food and that humans and dogs and other things are friends. But look at that. How can a dog be a friend, but a cow, who is just as sentient and emotional and compassionate, be food? There's a disconnect here. And it's a very fundamental thing for people. That's why there's even more resistance against veganism. Because food is so fundamental, even more fundamental than religion for many people, especially atheists. A lot of atheists who don't have religion, food becomes their utmost priority. It's cultural for them. So when you are debating against non-vegans, you have to make them understand the bigger picture. It's very simple. Animals are not objects. They're just like us in most ways. In fact, in almost every way, we're the same to the animals. We are animals. And they don't have to die. And they don't want to die. They're not these dumb things. When people think of a pig, they think of a little dumb thing that runs around. That's not a pig. A pig is very emotional, very smart, intelligent individual with its own thoughts and feelings and dreams. And we have to connect the dots again. They've been disconnected for so long, we have to make sure that we have to continuously make people realize that we are connected to the animals. And that in the same ways we don't kill each other, the same reasons we don't kill each other are the same reasons we shouldn't kill the animals, because there's no morally relevant difference. So that's what I'm doing. Why do animals not have religion? Many do. Many animals do have religions or rituals they do. A lot of monkeys, when one of their members dies, they actually form circles around them. And they cry. And they hold each other's hands. And they mourn the dead. Elephants have been shown to mourn the dead. In fact, most mammals perform some of the same rituals we do. They're very, very smart beings. Should we stop building and growing our civilization to save the animals? We don't have to destroy civilization to save the animals. You're destroying civilization for eating animals, if anything. We can have a more prosperous, more abundant world if everybody was plant-based. And that's the future, by the way. The future is vegan. The future is plant-based. That's inevitable. The thing is, how long will it take? That's up to us. Dude is dreaming. Every big change in the world started with a dream. Every major change started with one person's dream, who exposed their dreams to other people. And that, as the ball kept rolling down the hill, it got bigger and bigger. And before you know it, the entire world is changed. It's not hard. People think the world is big. It's not big. It's a small world. It really is a small world. It's not that big, and we have larger impact than we think we do. We have big impact, and especially today. We have more impact. Each one of us have more impact on today's world than at any moment in history. It is easier now than ever to make a change. Easier. So, more science labs, go on my YouTube. I have all my science labs up there. Will we ever colonize Mars? Well, that's the goal. How amazing would it be to have us to live in a society where we do go to Mars, where we do travel to other stars, where we do mine asteroids, where we do travel across the cosmos and discover all kinds of amazing things? How amazing would that be? There's an entire universe out there waiting to be uncovered. But people's thinking is too small. We're all looking down that we never look up, and we never look at the rest of the universe. We're so focused on what's happening here, the now moment, right? Oh, Israel versus Palestine, right? You're looking down. What else do you guys talk about? Doja Cat or this or Nicki Minaj, looking down again, right? All these things keep looking down. There's a bigger picture out there that allows us to see the world differently. But again, thinking big is not for everybody. Some people just can't. But for those of us who can, which is most of us, we should. Religion is one of those things that keeps us looking down. Because when you're religious, you think you have all the answers. You think you know everything. God did it. God did it. Where did we come from? God did it. Where do we go when we die? God. Where does life come from? God. Where does consciousness come from? God. Everything's God, 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 God. You pretend you have all the answers. And that stops you from looking out at the mystery. But thank you all for supporting me, the ones who do. It means a lot. Science is constantly changing. Well, science doesn't change. It's our observations change. Our experiments change. And that's good. You want a method that yields change. Because with change comes new ideas. If you're stuck on one idea forever, where's the learning there? Right? If you read a Bible for all your life and you think that's the only truth, you're so focused on the book, you don't see the rest of what's out there. That's what science does. It constantly pressures us to be at the frontier of understanding. It pushes us into the mystery. It pushes us into the unknown. And that's the beauty of science. The beauty of science is that it yields change and different understandings of things. That's the beauty of science. It's growth. That's growth. Whereas with religion, you're stuck. You're not learning. You're just stuck in this dumb paradigm. Never able to change. And worse, there's no will to change. You don't want to change as a Christian. You think you're happy and comfortable. It promotes comfort and laziness. Your belief in God promotes laziness, whether or not it's true. Even if God is true, it's still lazy to believe in it. Because there is no good reason to believe in God. You do it because you just want to. You do it because it feels good to you. And whether or not God exists, science still is way more fruitful. Way more fruitful. Why does something have to be fruitful? Well, it doesn't have to be fruitful, but I rather follow a fruitful method that allows us to understand more about each other and the world around us. It gets us more abundance and prosperity, right? Science is the engine of prosperity. It's what drives prosperity. The phone you're using right now is a product of science. We didn't pray for it. We use science. So, yeah, it's easy to sit there and say, well, who cares about prosperity? But look at what we live in. We live in a world that is prosperous because of science. How could you take that for granted? I couldn't. Let alone the fact that science also has a spiritual aspect to it. You see the world differently when you're scientific. When you're literate in science, you see the world differently. You see more solutions, like I said before. You see more solutions to problems. You're not stuck in the problems like Christians are. Right? Look at the Christian mindset. It's the end times. We're all gonna die. We need to be saved. So, what's the solution? Let's hold our hands together and wish. That's not going to do anything. But look what science does. Hey, how can we solve this? How does this work? Where's the experiment for this? How do we falsify this? This is what worked in the past. Maybe it will work this time. Or maybe that didn't work in the past. It probably won't work now, right? Those are inferences you can make on the world that are way more impactful than anything religion can do for you. It does feel like the end times. Well, that's a natural thing to believe in. Every society thought it was the end times. If you go back to the 1900s, they thought it was the end times. If you go back to the 1700s, the Revolutionary War, they thought it was the end times. Everybody thinks it's the end times. That's a normal thing to believe in because the human attitude is typically inclined to being pessimistic. Because we love to be the people that want to be saved. We love to be the victim. It feels good to go, the world is against me. It's the end times. Oh no. It feels good to do that because everybody else around you is saying the same thing. You'll feel comfortable in it. Yeah, the world is bad. Inflation's bad. Oh, the stock market's bad. Everything's bad, bad, bad. It's easy. It's lazy. But again, that's why religion is so appealing because it's pessimistic. And it's easy to do that. It's easy to be pessimistic. It's hard to go against the grain. It's hard to look at the solutions and implement them. It's hard to do that. Science is hard. That's why nobody likes it. That's why most people don't care about it. But if you do understand it, you become a more optimistic person. Because you don't look at the you're not delved inside. You're not swimming in the problems. Now you're open. Now you're looking at solutions. Whereas the Christian is swimming in their problems and not willing to do anything to solve them. Except pray and wish and hope. The victim mentality. It's my fault. I'm the bad guy. I'm the sinner. It's all my fault. The victim mentality. Oh, man. We're all sinners. We're all bad people. We're all deserving of death. It's such a pessimistic attitude, a fruitless attitude. It's so petty and small. I'm after the big thinking. I'm after the big think. How do you think big? Bigger, right? God is not big. God is as big as your ego. God is your ego. That's literally all God is. What does every person want? Love, peace, happiness, guidance. What does God give you? What does God supposedly give you? Love, peace, guidance, happiness. You think God gives everything you desire. What are the chances that the creator of the universe gives you everything that you desire? Egotistically, right? Think of the chances of that. it seems to me that it's more, not that it's a coincidence. I think that you're making it up. I think that you're just making it up because it feels good to you. It's ego to not believe in a creator. It's ego to think that you're created, that you're special. That's egotistical. To think that there's something magical about me that renders me somehow a magical creation that needed some magic intelligence. That's ego. To think that, oh, we're conscious, we're aware. There must be somebody out there doing this because we are so special. When in reality, there is nothing about your consciousness or life that is beyond the realms of physics or science. There's nothing beyond your being that requires a god or magic or extra super intelligence. No, that is ego. That is your ego talking. And your ignorance talking. Because religion fosters a lazy mentality. Every time you try to ask questions about the world, you're always filling in the gaps, that the things you don't know, with God. Right? Everywhere you go, you're filling in the gaps with God. Where does consciousness come from? God. And that, to me, is egotistical. Everything you don't know, you say, is science. Well, science is not an explanation. Science is a method, right? I absolutely agree there are things we don't understand in the world. But again, the scientific method is to say, well, let's go find out the answer. The religious perspective is, it's God. See the difference? I'm not saying that science answers everything. What I'm saying is that science is the best answer to things. And if we don't know something, science allows for us to question and embrace the mystery, whereas religion allows you none of that. Someone's belief in religion might be their safety net, where science might be yours. No, science is not a safety net. Science is only one perspective of things. But the point is that with a scientific perspective, you're humble enough to recognize that there are other perspectives beyond your abilities to understand. That is what embedded within science is, that understanding. Embedded within the scientific method is the acknowledgement that there are other perspectives out there that we don't have access to. So you're wrong in that regards. But more importantly, religion is not a safety net. It's a pretend safety net. It's a make-believe safety net. You think you're safe with religion, but you're not. You're just as susceptible as all of us. You're just cloaking all of the angst and anxiety about life with God. That's what you're doing. You are pretending to be happy with religion. You're pretending that God makes you happy because you want it to be about you. He cares about you, right? We all want somebody to care about us. We all want there to be somebody above us caring about us. That's a clear human want. But look at how appealing it is to believe. That gives me some reservation before I don't want to believe in something if it's too easy. Because it's likely not going to be the case. It's likely going to be coming from somewhere egotistical. Religion is too easy. It's like a shortcut that stops you from seeing the rest of it. Religion's like, science is like a journey through an amazing forest with all kinds of animals and species and unknown and mysterious trees and things. And you're going through the journey, and science forces you to go through the forest and traverse all the different areas. It's a longer route, but it's still amazing and amazing to be part of. Whereas religion is the shortcut. You're going through one place, one beginning to the end. You're missing the entire beauty of the forest. All the mystery about it, all the amazing stuff about the forest, you're missing. Just so that you could get to the end of the trail. Yeah, sure, you got to the end of the trail, but you missed the beauty of it. You missed the beauty of the rest of the forest. And then you get to the end of the trail and you realize that that's not actually the end. Religion is a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose situation. It pretends to give you things that you want. It doesn't actually do it for you. What does veganism do? It helps the animals. It helps the planet. It helps people. What does veganism not do? That's a better question to ask. The point I'm trying to make is that if you care about something enough, you will, if you're passionate about something, you will not be affected by the ignorance people give you. It will not affect you. Because you have vision for what you want to happen. And that is that's my position. People won't agree with you. Most people, and the point I was trying to get to before, but I lost track of what I was going to say, was people often look for people who agree. We feel happy, we feel comfortable when we're surrounded by others who agree with us. But for the ones who disagree, who think differently, we are never going to be comfortable with other people. So we don't mind the discomfort. We don't mind speaking up and being hated on, and not hated on, but being disagreed about. We don't care about that. And that's why a lot of people on social media a lot of people in general look for people who agree, and they make that's what they're after, right? They're after being the one who everybody agrees with. I'm not after that. I want to go against the grain. I want the challenge. I want to go against the grain. I want the disagreement. I want to stir that up. That's who I've always been. So that's another aspect about me. I want to challenge the norm. I don't want... People see me and they see the passionate person. They might mistake it for anger when I'm live debating. That's purposed. I do that for a purpose. I want to show people that there's something to be passionate for. But there's also times to be calm. There's also times for these kind of talks. People respond to emotion. They respond to genuinity. Genuineness, if that's a word. And that's what's made me so successful on this app. Because I'm always genuine. I'm always me. I'm never somebody else. Which is pretty ironic because for most of my life I was scared of me, expressing me. That's some of the hardest things to do. But it's a very powerful thing to do. Expressing oneself. Truly, that's something very, very difficult to do. But just know that the support goes a long way, and I appreciate support more than you think. You seem like a Scorpio, highly intelligent, passionate, rude. Astrology's nonsense. Do you agree with expect nothing, appreciate everything? Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's not that we shouldn't have any expectations, but some of the most fundamental expectations we can have about our lives, if we let go of those, we become the most free. Expectations about justice, and that's a powerful thing to let go of. When you expect justice, when you expect that somebody will give you something to make up for the things that you've lost in the past, that, when you let go of that idea, you become way better as a person. But I'm not saying that we should not have any expectations. We should. But the less the better to me. But yeah, appreciate everything always. But again, there's no concrete, absolute way of being like the idea that we should just that we could be in that state forever is it's ridiculous. You're never going to be perfectly happy all the time. That's never going to happen. But the balance of those things, and with having less expectations, you feel like it's a better person. It's a more balanced person. Or balanced emotions. You know, because when you're religious, you're very emotional. It's because you're expecting a lot from things, from life, right? You expect a lot. I expect an afterlife. I expect a God. I expect the Bible to be true. I expect the Quran. I expect people to pray. I expect me to pray. I expect the church. You expect a lot of things. That's why when you leave religion, it feels terrible for you. because all those expectations have been demolished. And that's some of the worst things that could happen for us, right? When we feel like we do not get what we expected. You're more emotional than anyone I know. Yeah, you believe that a guy died for you on a stick. And mumbling some words to yourself in bed is going to make your life better. That's emotional. Everybody's emotional to some degree. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What I'm saying is that you can't let your emotions dictate your life, especially in the way that Jesus cultists do. That's destructive. I'm like depressed today. It's funny how you guys see me. People don't know me. All they know about me is the stuff they see on TikTok, right? But that's not all I am. That's not my entire life on TikTok. I have a whole life outside of TikTok. People expect the debates every day from me. I can't do that. It is so exhaustive. So mentally exhaustive to debate every day. I don't have that power. Especially veganism. Debating about veganism. Because there's so much resistance. Like, when it comes to atheism, maybe about 50%, maybe 40% of people are against me, like really badly. But when it comes to veganism, 90% of people are against me. So, veganism is one of the hardest things to debate about. It's one of the most toughest things to debate because 90% of people are against you. Yet they have no arguments. And they have terrible arguments that you've heard a billion times. So there's even more resistance against me as a vegan than there is as an atheist. And you guys will never understand because you're not vegan. You don't understand what it's like to be in my shoes where you know it's wrong to harm an animal, but you still listen to people try to justify abusing an animal. You guys see abuse as okay. I don't. It's not abuse. Yes, it is abuse. Stuffing animals in gas chambers is abuse. Stuffing them in cages where they can't move, they can't breathe, they can't see sunlight. That's abuse. That is absolutely abuse. See, this is the point. There's so much there's so much misinformation that just makes it very exhausting to deal with from the non-vegan side. So much dishonesty. Even from atheists. Stop pushing your agenda on people who don't want to be vegan. Stop pushing animals in gas chambers. When you stop forcing pigs in gas chambers and forcing animals to be bred into existence on farms where they can't move, they're sitting in their own shit and feces, then I'll stop doing it. But until that day, I will continue speaking up for the animals. Guess what? They don't have a voice. They can't speak. They can't say, stop doing this to me. Imagine that. Imagine being tortured and not being able to say anything about it. So while you sit there privileged in your position, I get to kill and slaughter whoever I want to, the animals are being tortured for you. And that's wrong. It's a privilege. You're in a privileged position to be non-vegan. Because you don't care at all about the animals. All you care about is your food, your dinner. You don't care about the animals. You pretend. We all say we love dogs. We all say we love cats. We all say we love animals. Then we kill them and slaughter them in factories for no reason. No, I'm not appealing to objective morality. When people say that, it's like they're so misunderstood. They're so lost. I'm not saying that it's objectively right to be vegan. I'm saying that it's right if you agree that animal cruelty is wrong, which most of us agree. 99% of people believe that animal cruelty is wrong, yet they still support it. There's a hypocrisy there that I'm pointing out. Veganism is a moral obligation if you agree that animal cruelty is wrong. You look sad? I'm not sad. I'm just concerned that people don't care about learning anymore. I'm concerned that people don't care about each other or the animals. I'm concerned that there is a solution that's easily accessible to us, but we don't choose it. That's what I'm concerned about. Humans have never cared. Well, now we can change. Now we have just go on dates. You don't have to be serious. Exactly. Me and Susan are going to go on a date. So anyway, I started eating vegan because of you, so don't be sad. Well, good for you. I'm not sad. I'm rarely ever sad. It's my passion for learning, that when I don't see it in other people, it makes me confused and concerned that something is wrong here. That how can the universe be so amazing to me? How can learning be so important to me but not important to somebody else? And because of that, they fall victim to many scams, like religion, like psychic readings, tarot readings, astrology. How can it makes me, if anything makes me sad, is people who fall for those traps, fall for those gimmicks. I'm not sad about me, I'm sad about other people, how they're being scammed. You were judging people you don't know, but I know their actions. That's all I need to know who they are, to judge them, their actions. What did you do? If what you're doing is harming other people, it's wrong. I'm going to judge you for that. If you murder, I'm going to judge you. You're damn right. I never said judging is absolutely incorrect. What I'm saying is judging for the wrong reasons is incorrect. Without good reason.